tomorrow night from 7 p.m. daylight savings time across the SEN network. So, of course, we'll have that game covered, which is the Broncos taking on the Melbourne Storm. And then we've got the game, the first of two, on Friday afternoon. So we're looking forward to that one as well. 1300 01 1170. Craig Bellamy, plenty to talk about with Craig Bellamy in front of the media today and discussed the health of Cameron Munster. Is he back? Is he playing? Well, here's what Craig Bellamy, the coach of the Melbourne Storm, had to say.
Good chance that he might line up. Again, it's been, as I've said before, the injury's been fine, or seems to be fine, and then all of a sudden it flares up again. So, he's had a couple of the sessions this week that he's gone pretty well in. So, so hopefully he'll pull up okay tomorrow after today's session, and then we'll just go from there.
Okay, they're well placed. The Melbourne Storm off a bye. They get Hughes back. They get Welsh back. They don't get Nelson Asofa-Solomona back, but that's their own doing. Nelson, finish this sentence, Brian. Nelson Asofa-Solomona is North Sydney's best prop since... Who comes to mind?
Larry.
Oh, Paul Larson.
Yeah, Gary.
Mate of mine, Paul Larson.
Yeah,
Gary Larson.
He's more of a back row. Or Marty Bella.
That's the one.
Or Gavin.
Oh, yes.
Gavin.
Blonde?
Oh.
Fair, straw head?
Yeah, straw hair.
Straw hair.
Look like the mule.
That's right.
Gavin Jones.
Gavin Jones.
Yeah,
you can see him on a footy card with the sleeve of the black stripes, can't you?
Yes.
On the shoulder. Anyway, we're speaking about Nelson Asofa-Solomona, of course. People are saying, where is Big Nas? Well, here's what Craig Bellamy had to say about Big Nelson.
No, well, he's not in our 17 at the moment. That's sort of a bit private conversation, between me and him. So, at the end of the day, he's an important part of our club, an important part of our team. We just need him, playing well and get back into it. And it hasn't been an easy pre-season for him. He's had some real hamstring problems, and he hasn't done a lot of work in the pre-season. So that's a little bit of the problem as well. We're not going to put him in until he's ready, and hopefully, like I say, he'll be a real asset to us. If we can get him back in, and he's he gets that time under his belt, training and some games. But like I say, he's just short of that at the moment. They can see what they like. At the end of the day, he's got a contract, so I don't think that needs answering, to be quite honest.
Okay, so he's clearly a gun coach, and this is all part of the big picture, right? He's playing the long game here. Yes, he could pick Nelson, but he clearly wants to kick up the butt. That's what I'm reading between lines, Brian.
Yep, definitely.
And no doubt he'll get what he's trying to achieve, I would have thought.
Well, he'll get him back towards the back end of the year.
Yep.
Maybe around Origin time, but he's too good to be playing reserve grade.
Oh, way too good.
Goodness
too good.
Me.
Jaleesa Apps, by the way, the lovely Jaleesa. Joel, my partner said to me this morning that he thought we'd already changed our clocks.
Oh,
so there's a few in the same camp.
I'm saying it'd be less than 2% of the population
that think what I think.
Yeah,
probably.
How do you not know that?
Well, it's just a trap. I thought they always did it on the public holiday weekend because you got less mucked around. You had time to sort of get yourself acclimatised. Yeah. Anyway, Zac Lomax to meet with the Eels today. Michael Chammas and Dan Walsh from the Sydney Morning Herald reporting. Lomax is set to meet with Brad Arthur in a bid to lure him to Parramatta immediately. The Eels are preparing to offer Lomax a long-term deal until at least the end of 2027, but the sticking point will be the matter of how soon he'll be able to link with the club. The Eels have salary cap space to sign him as a centre immediately, but the Dragons will not release him this season unless they get an adequate replacement in return. They are looking for a backup fullback and hooker. The club will only consider release this year if a player of considerable standing is offered in return, which our head coach, Shane Flanagan, is comfortable with, said the club of the Dragons in a statement released on Tuesday. I don't feel as though they're going to meet terms with that.
No. I think he's done the right thing by saying at the end of the year.
Yes.
But why would you even contemplate? He's been probably one of the best players so far. And
also, with Mitchy Moses out, there's no guarantee that the Parramatta Eels will finish above the Dragons on the ladder.
That's a good point.
I'll be fascinated to see. We'll check out which round the Dragons take on Parramatta.
Well, we're going to be talking about this for the next month if something doesn't get done.
Yes.
If you can just come out and say, yep, righto, we'll sign next. You're going to Parramatta next year. Put this to bed.
And I'm committed to the Dragons.
Come on, the Dragons.
Which is it's not a big ask, is it? Like, okay, we're going to let you go, but we need this noise to go. So just come out and say you're committed to us for the rest of the year. So we're not being mucked around. They're unlikely to get the player they want.
Well, who are they going to get? I know they want a hooker and they want a backup forward, but are they angling towards Parramatta? Is it a Parramatta thing?
Well, the only way you can get him early is to do that.
Yeah, release someone to get him, yeah.
Round 20. Well, they're not going to meet till round 26.
There we go.
So there we go.
Let's not talk about him more. Let's have a moratorium.
Very few players, front rowers, are in the top 50, Brian, for run meters. Terrell May is, and he's played a lot off the bench. So he's re-signed with the Roosters. Adrian Prezenko and Dan Walsh from the Sydney Morning Herald. Terrell May will remain a Rooster after agreeing to terms on a 2-year. Okay, what's the fee?
Oh, I just saw it in the rundown. I was just thinking that's about spot on. I reckon $500,000 is pretty much what he's worth at the moment.
At the moment.
Not to say that he won't. I mean, he's only been playing first grade for a year and a half.
Yep.
Not to say he might end up on 700 or 800.
So it's a 2-year. That's smart play for the management too. 2-year, $1 million extension. So it's a win-win. The deal, which is yet to be officially signed off, also includes an upgrade for the current season, which what he'd be on at the moment, minimum contract just about, wouldn't he?
Yeah. So I was listening to was it Robbo talking about it, that his tackle effectiveness, if that is a word, is like like 98, 99%. You know, they look into that. They're the stats they drill down on. It's not just tackles.
No, and run meters and all that sort of stuff.
Effective tackles, especially one-on-one. He'll hit him. He'll use his body to wrestle him down, and that's an effective tackle. Rather than around the legs, they get a quick blow the ball and off he goes. So and that's what you need in the middle there as a front row. You can see all the fancy offloading stuff. 98.4. There you go.
Gee, that's good. And that's tidy, isn't it? Because that's where we're talking about the South example. They can get a bit sloppy, not covering each other from inside.
That's what Penrith
The Panthers, they just chase each other, Leota and all those sorts of players. And clearly Robbo wants something the same there. And very smart from the Roosters too. So reportedly he'd been on a deal worth about $200,000. So really they're probably saying to themselves, okay, well, we've got the money now in the cap, so let's pay it forward. So instead of him signing, say, $600,000 a year for the next 2 years, they're probably signing, here's another couple hundred now.
Yep.
So we'll bump you from 200 to 400.
Get in early.
And instead of paying the 600, which will affect us in the next couple of years cap, we'll take that 100 off us now. So that's smart play.
See, the Chooks have gone awfully quiet. So Joey Manu's going. We know he's going to Japanese rugby. We know Joseph's going over to rugby union. This is what happened with Cooper Cronk. When Cooper Cronk was coming off, he was going to Canterbury, he was going to South, and then last minute the Chooks just came in. Do you get the? I'm not just saying this because we were sort of mucking around about this the other day, but do you get the feeling that South could sneak in? Chooks could sneak in and get Lomax?
No,
as a right centre.
No, because I do believe what you're saying, but you don't need the gun centres to win these comps.
No, I know, but I'm saying he wants to win a comp. He wants to, for whatever reason, he's come out and he goes, he wants to go to a better side. Would he say, right, I'll go to the Chooks?
But the Chooks wouldn't pay him $800.
No, I'm saying that. He'll go to the Chooks for $500.
Nah.
You don't think?
No, I reckon you're right, though.
Who do you think they'll play? Or who do you think will play right centre next year?
Mate, they always have these kids coming through. They've got Billy Smith, who hopefully he can get better.
Yeah, but they don't do hopefullys.
But they don't
do hopefullys.
Yeah, but to win a comp, you can get away with, you can get away with just a good defensive centre. You don't need the strike.
They can't.
They are more likely to do what you said. They didn't chase a Lomax and ambush a Lomax. They ambushed a Cooper Cronk.
Yes.
So they're more likely to go and ambush a big coup like that. I reckon they're more likely to save their pennies on Manu, on Sua'ali'i, where they're currently spending, and go real big on a player who can win you a comp for sure.
In the centres?
No, like a half. Whoever that may be.
Who is there?
I don't know. I don't know, but we didn't know the Cooper Cronk thing was going to happen either.
Well, that was the thing. It was so quiet. I just feel that they're giving away two of their better players.
Yep.
Well, I'll say arguably their best player.
Yep.
In Joey Manu. You can't. I just don't. There's a sneaky plan coming.
So but the reason Panthers flogged them wasn't because they needed a gun outside back, was it?
No, that's a fair point.
Sam McIntyre re-signs with the Cowboys. Cowboys have agreed to a 2-year extension with the middle forward, Sam McIntyre, through the end of 2026. He arrived in Townsville midway through 2023 after a stint at the Tigers and the Titans. He had an outstanding pre-season, forced his way into Todd Payton's first choice 17 in 2024, and they've seen enough, and they said, Sammy, we want to keep you. So there you go. That's how that's all playing out. Plenty of other rugby league news floating around as well. 1300 01 1170.